March 21st, 2017. 3 weeks. 3 weeks on testosterone. Ah! I, things were going really, really slow at first, and it was starting to, really piss me off because I wasn't seeing immediate changes, and that's my whole patience thing. I have no patience. But, all of a sudden, it's 3 weeks, and I don't even know what to do with that. I skipped doing a 2-week video because I was sick and all that, and there wasn't really a whole lot of anything. But I just wanted to kind of document this 3-week mark because just 7 days a week, 7 days a week, 7 days away, I will be 1 month. 1 month on testosterone. I will have had 3 shots, but right, 3? Because I get my next one. 1, 2. I can't math. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be getting my 3rd testosterone shot on my 1 month. So, that's something, and I'm excited. So, I'm gonna start talking about changes, because like I said, there's been a couple. So I'm gonna start with physical this time. First things first is that a lot of trans guys notice a lot of oilier skin and acne and all that. I've always really had oily skin, especially when I was a teenager. It was just oily all the time, and I never really grew out of that. But as a teenager, I had acne all up in my forehead, constantly. It was just everywhere. But as I kind of grew out of that, I never really had a whole lot of acne. I mean, a couple spots here and there. So that's there's that. But then so I haven't noticed an increase in oily skin. But I am getting acne all on my chin, right here on both sides where I get those patches of the hair. And then I've gotten a couple. There's there's one on my nose right here, and a couple on my cheeks. And I've never really gotten acne on my cheeks before, so that's different. Obviously, I've shaved my head. My hair was just pissing me off. That's why, in my last video, I was wearing a hat, because my hair was not doing anything that I wanted to. It was not behaving, so I shaved it, and I feel about 10 degrees cooler, and I don't have to own a comb anymore. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it like this or not. Apparently, there's a couple scars on the back of my head that I never knew about. So I kind of look like I have a jack-o'-lantern smiling on the back of my head. If you don't believe, I'll post a picture that really captures that really well, here. I'm terrible at this letter box. That's not even a letterbox. I quit. So yeah, I've shaved my head. So I've always had this drastic widow's peak. But the last few days, because I've had my head shaved for, when was St. Patrick's Day? Day before St. Patrick's Day, or 2 days before, something like that. But it wasn't until today that I felt like my widow's peak wasn't nearly as prominent as it used to be. I feel like the center point here is receding a little bit. So I don't know if that's a thing, or if I'm just imagining it, or if it's just because I've shaved my head and there's not as much poof. I don't know. So that's something I'm gonna be keeping an eye on. But going back to the acne on my chin and junk, I have started shaving. I cannot really tweeze anymore because it would take me way too long. I mentioned earlier in my previous video that it felt a little bit more there was more full, not necessarily a whole lot of more of those thick coarse hairs, but just regular hairs that were kind of filling in the little spots, and that's increased. And those hairs are getting a lot coarser and black. So nobody can really see it, but I can like definitely feel like I'll be sitting there at work and I'll just be talking and be like, So I'm already doing like the whole facial hair stroking thing, even though to everybody else it looks like I'm just being weird and stroking my chin. But no, I swear there's hair there, and I'm having to shave like every other day. So I had no idea how to shave my face the first time. I still really don't. I kind of just sat in the mirror, like stared at myself with the razor, and I'm just like, I don't. Hmm. So, getting used to that. Um, Also, I've noticed within the last couple days that my shoulders like feel a little different. They're just not necessarily more broad because I've already got like extremely broad shoulders. Um, but like I did something yesterday. I don't remember what it was, but like it ended up like my head went down on my shoulder or whatever, and I was just like, that's kind of bony. Like I don't remember it being that bony. So maybe weight redistribution is starting to happen where I'm I don't know. So shoulders are just feeling more, I don't know, either firm or just bony. They're feeling different. Um, I'm still tired a lot. Like last night, I went home and I got like 10, 11 hours of sleep. And then I woke up because we were going to go out and do this thing before I went to work. But then that ended up getting canceled. And so I just went and got myself Taco Bell. Hashtag could be an ad. Hashtag's not an ad. And then I figured I'd take the time and do this video while I'm waiting to go to work. Hour and a half from now. Yay. But yeah, no, I'm still tired. Like, I really do want to just go to bed. But, like, the old me would have. The old me would have just been like, screw it. I'm gonna sacrifice the hunger and all that for just getting another couple hours of sleep. So, in a sense, like, I'm still tired, yeah. But I'm also, like, more energized, if that makes any sense to you, because it doesn't to me. So, there you have it. So, also, like, the shape of my face, I feel, is getting a little bit more, like, it's growing out round this way. Like, I feel like I used to have, like, just a very narrow, pointed face. And again, that could just be because I've shaved my head and everything looks different. But, I don't know, like, it does definitely feel like maybe I'm just getting more... Oof. Wonderful sound effects, Brenton. Yeah, good job. And then earlier in this video, I mentioned that I had gotten sick, like around my 2-week. And in the video that I had posted before that, I was explaining how like it felt like somebody was like pulling on my uvula, and like it was just kind of like the sore throat. And I'm like, well, maybe I am getting sick, maybe I'm not. Well, I did get sick. I ended up having to miss a day of work because of it. And then I just got kind of sad about that. I was like, oh, dang, it wasn't anything to do with testosterone. It was just getting sick. And I was kind of, like, discouraged with that. But then I started, like, doing a little bit of research and watching a couple other trans guy videos. And I found one where somebody said that they actually do get sick every time their voice is about to drop. So, I don't know. I don't know. In regards into my voice, I don't know if it has dropped. I mean, I know it's a lot easier to like speak in my normal speaking voice, especially like at work. I'm slowly getting out of my customer service, like, "Hi, how are you? How can I help?" Oh, I hate that. Oh my god, that sounded terrible. I hate that. But okay, so I'm slowly getting out of that, which I'm excited for. It's just a lot easier to talk in this nasally, crappy voice that I've got right now. But I have noticed that, like, pre-T, I felt like I was talking out of, like, my nasal cavity, which I don't know if that makes sense at all. But I've noticed that there's, like, been this drop, and so, like, I feel like my voice is now coming more through my nose, but then there's also I'm getting like a little bit of reverberation off of my non-existent Adam's apple. Non-existent Adam's apple. Non-existent Adam's apple. That's a tongue twister. Non-existent. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. My 1 week from now and my 1 month, I'll be able to do voice comparisons and kind of see how that's going along. So yeah, there's that. And then I think the last thing physically is that I'm probably passing about 10% of the time as male now to people that just randomly see me in public. Not necessarily public. I never go out in public. But like at work, like I have a bar of regulars that, you know, they sit there and they know me, they're in every day kind of thing. But then I have like the opposite side of the bar where it's people that just kind of like come in for some pizza, but also just kind of want a beer, and like they don't know me. So I've been getting like yes sir or he a lot. Not a lot, but more than it used to be. And again, that could be because of the head shaved thing. I cannot stop touching my head. I love the way this feels. Ah. Um, I quit. Oh my gosh. Um, so, yeah, passing more. Not nearly to where I want to be, but we're getting there. Hashtag not an ad. Hashtag could be an ad. Taco Bell, hit me up. I never eat at Taco Bell. I don't know why I'm doing this. Their commercials make their food look good, though. Anywho, so going on to emotional. The dysphoria is real. Oh my gosh, like, I would get bothered a lot whenever I would hear, like, she or my birth given name, but I got so used to it that I just kind of was able to brush it off. But since coming out, and since I know that these people are knowing that I am on testosterone and that I'm going through this change, um, it's a lot worse now, I think, when I get misgendered, or when people that I know, you know, call me the female pronouns or use my birth name. Like, it hurts a lot more emotionally, and I get really discouraged. And I don't think a whole lot of people understand, like, just how bad dysphoria can get for us. And I'm probably actually going to just do, like, an entirely, like, separate video from this, on dysphoria itself. I don't know, maybe try and help spread awareness about, you know, how to talk to us, or I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But yeah, the dysphoria is very, very real. I think the female pronouns are what bother me the most. And like getting misgendered. Like, I think by being called by my birth name, that's a little easier for me to kind of brush off, but it's the misgendered part that, I don't know, just really gets to me. So there's that. Also, like, my chest size is still like a real big issue. I hate, like, changing. Sorry, Taco Bell. Um, um, I hate changing. Like, I hate getting undressed to take a shower or a bath. I hate all of that, because that's when the binder comes off, and then that's where, ta-da! And, like, it pisses me off a lot, and there's nothing I can do about it right now. So that's hard. Yeah, I hate my chest. Something else that has never really kind of occurred to me or come into my thought patterns, since taking testosterone, since coming out, is, like, the other day I was just, you know, at the bar, and I'm having a conversation with 4 or 5 of my regulars, and they're older. They're probably between their late 40s, early 60s, you know, and but you know, we're good friends, and we can sit there and we can just talk about just whatever guy things mostly, um, and like we can just, you know, have a great time. And um, it was during one of these times when I was just finding myself looking out at them and observing them more than getting involved in the conversation, and kind of just, I had this thought going through my head that was like, these men were born male, you know, and here I am trying to insert myself into that lifestyle. Um, do I deserve to be a man? And that was incredibly heartbreaking for me. So I don't. I mean, I know who I am. I know that I'm a guy. I know that. Um, but it's just these thought patterns of, I was not born with male anatomy, so what gives me the right to change that? And I don't know. Like, I'm not religious at all, so this has like absolutely nothing to do with religion. It was just, I don't know, this weird thought that crossed my mind that like really got me down. Um, on the other side of things, though, on a little bit more happy note, I'm getting so much support, and people are trying so hard, like, especially at work. A lot of my regulars are going out of the way. They are calling me Brenton. They are using male pronouns. And I couldn't be more thankful for those guys that are physically showing that they are trying to understand, or being supportive of what I'm going through. And emotionally, that it's such a fantastic thing for me to even try and comprehend. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. It helps a lot, especially when I have moments like that where I'm sitting there going like, do I deserve this? It's so thank you for balancing out my teeter-totter of dysphoria and emotions. So thank you. Okay, on to the sexual genital stuff. I realized in my last video, because I put up like a annotation or something within YouTube that said skip to this, but I didn't realize that that does not work for cell phones, or any other device other than a computer. So I'm gonna actually try and edit the time skip into the actual video before I post it. So here's your warning. Ta-da! I'm not noticing any more, like, there's no growth at all, and like that rigid sensitivity that I mentioned earlier, that has kind of subsided since I finished my cycle. So that was like exciting at first, but then it was like, it's gone, and now I'm just, dang it. So, but it's still really weird, because I've never experienced anything like that during one of my cycles before. And I started my cycle when I was like 14, 13, young. So, I don't know. Maybe it just got heightened for a small amount of time because of testosterone. I don't know. My sex drive is still pretty much the same. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, it's a real thing, I'm horny all the time. Well, I was that way to begin with. I'm a dirty boy. So I haven't noticed an increase in that at all, which is fine, because I like where my sex drive is. Doesn't hurt at all. So, yeah, I mean, so nothing new there. And, sorry to disappoint you, but that's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. So yeah, I think that's everything. Question of the day for you other trans guys out there. Probably my biggest question right now is, does alcohol affect testosterone for trans males? I was doing a little research on my own, and I found that just testosterone in general gets lessened when someone intakes alcohol, but like that seemed to direct more towards like born males. Because it's like, yeah, when, notice that when guys, they drink alcohol, it's hard for them to get it up and all that. And I'm like, this doesn't apply to me right now. So, yeah, because I do like to indulge in a microbrew every now and then. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, is maybe that is what's stunting my testosterone changes? And if it is, I would like to know that, because I could give that up super easily at the expense of my manhood. So if anybody has any information on that, I would be more than grateful. I am going to finish my Taco Bell lunch now. Hashtag not an ad. Hashtag could be an ad. Hit me up, Taco Bell. So I will see you guys later in 1 week. Unless I decide to do that dysphoria video before. And, yeah. I'll see you guys later.